these issues and to understand what are the measures we need to take to prevent all the lead diseases, right? How many of you are open to learn for that? Type open in the chat box. Yes. And these are some of the 4 digestive issues that leads to serious consequence, right? Colon cancer, liver cirrhosis, which means fatty liver will be converted as liver cirrhosis over a period of time, and stomach ulcers and pancreatitis, right? So how many of you would like to know the 3 practices that if you can practice that will protect you and your family members from these deadly diseases, right? If you can understand these 3 things and if you can completely avoid these 3 things from your life, you can definitely, I would say, you may be suffering from small health issues, but you can completely prevent all these deadly diseases from your life, right? How many of you would like to know the 3 things? 3 in the chat box. Okay, a lot of you would like to know. So let's focus for the next 10 minutes. Okay. So what is the number one thing which we need to follow? Stop eating adulterated foods, right? So what do I mean by adulterated foods? Adulterated foods are foods that are being adulterated with different kinds of chemicals, right? Not the original foods. So milavat, right? So let's see what are the 2 most adulterated foods which we may be using on a daily basis, but without understanding, without having awareness, right? The number one is refined cooking oils. This is the most adulterated food which many of us are using without having awareness. Let's look at what we are eating in the form of cooking oil or refined oils. Before that, let me ask you a question. What kind of cooking oil do you use on a daily basis? Let me know in the chat box. I'm not asking about the brand which you are using. I'm asking about what kind of cooking oil. Are you using sunflower oil, groundnut oil, sesame oil, mustard oil? Let me know in the chat box. Okay, I can see a lot of you are typing. Okay, sunflower oil, groundnut oil, mustard oil, sunflower oil, groundnut oil, someone cold pressed sesame oil, refined sunflower oil. Okay, I can see a lot of you are typing. You are using the refined sunflower oil, right? Let's see how we are being fooled in the name of refined sunflower oil, right? My dear friends, if you open Amazon right now and see the price of 1 kg sunflower seeds, the price of the sunflower seeds today, anywhere between 400 to 500, right? And my dear friends, if you open the same Amazon and see the price of 1 liter refined sunflower oil, right? What is the price? Anywhere between 130 to 150, 180, maximum within 200 rupees. So let's understand, to get 1 liter of sunflower oil, okay, how much quantity of sunflower seeds needed? If you take the highest quality sunflower seeds, it takes minimum 2 kgs to be able to get 1 liter of sunflower oil, right? This you can see in the internet. You can, if you Google it, you can get it very easily. My dear friends, let's say the manufacturer of your refined sunflower oil gets the sunflower seeds for 300 rupees per kg. What would be the cost of making of 1 liter of sunflower oil? 600 rupees. Let's say they get it for 200 rupees per kg. What is the cost of sunflower oil for them to manufacture? 400 rupees. Let's say they get it for just 120 rupees, right? Still, what is the price of the sunflower oil seeds to get 1 liter of sunflower oil, right? At least 250 rupees, right? Minimum. And my dear friends, how they are actually giving it for less than 200 rupees, right? If the cost of production itself is more than 200 rupees, that too after having the retailer profit, wholesaler profit, distributor profit, packaging cost, traveling cost, branding expenses, and other overheads, right? If you count everything, what would be the price, the cost of production? My dear friends, if they have to give it to you, the 1 liter of sunflower oil or any kind of oil, I would say, for less than 200 rupees, 150, 180 rupees, they have to get the sunflower seeds for at least 20 rupees per kg, right? Is it practically possible to get sunflower seeds for less than 20 rupees? My dear friends, even if you grow it, right? Even if you grow the sunflower seeds in your own farm, still it costs minimum 100 rupees per kg, right? If you directly source it from the farmers, then how they are actually getting the refined sunflower oil, right? How they are actually giving it for less than 200 rupees? Simply by adding all these chemicals, right? So these are all the chemicals which are being added in the making process, in the manufacturing of the refined sunflower oils, which we are using in our home, right? Which we are bringing from the supermarkets. My dear friends, now you might have understood where does all these diseases come from suddenly in the last 30-35 years, right? If you see, because of excessive usage of these refined, right, commercial refined oils, which are actually not the exact oils, right? Just 10 to 15% the real seed oil and 80% certain chemicals, right? So by using those things, what has been happening for the human bodies, you will most likely be diagnosed with any of the following diseases like heart disease, high blood pressure, heart stroke, obesity, thyroid, PCOD, inflammations in the body, and cholesterol levels, elevated cholesterol levels, right? Fatty liver, kidney diseases, gastrointestinal diseases like acid reflux, GERD, hair fall, certain types of cancers, respiratory problems, metabolic issues, neurological disorders, skin problems, right? My dear friends, stop using the refined commercial oils and start using the cold pressed oils. The solution is at least using the cold pressed oils to secure yourself, right? And let's see the second one of the most adulterated food that we may be using in our kitchen, right? That is milk. Let's see how milk is being adulterated in certain parts of India or in some cases, right? How they are actually adulterating the milk and they are sending it to some of these hotels, restaurants, and sweet shops, and majority of these places.
This person, on not revealing his identity, got ready to tell us how he makes fake milk. Okay, this adulterated milk, which is also called synthetic milk, what is it made from?
Ranji है, refined है.
You say refined, meaning refined oil.
जी Ranji, Randy.
So actually, this is Ranji, which is a detergent. In the cities, we also call this Easy. What we had been hearing until now is right in front of our eyes. To make fake milk apart from detergent and oil, they use a glucose solution which is kept here in this utensil. First, you added this detergent, which we also call Easy. Now you have mixed milk with detergent. So this has become foam, which we normally use for washing clothes.
वही दाग बन गया.
This foam, why is it made?
इससे से बनती है.
Because of the detergent, this foam is made. Then oil was mixed. Then its color started becoming yellow. But still, this person put the entire can of oil in it. After that, he was continuously mixing it with his hands. After this artificial milk is run through a sieve, then it becomes ready to reach your home. Just for some milk and money, these guys don't mind playing with the health of common people. Let's see how these guys make milk. This is shampoo which is used while taking bath. But this is also used to make milk. How? Just keep watching. These three guys are making milk. For this, they put shampoo in a big bowl and then refined oil. Just instantly, this mixture got converted into a white paste. Then, half a liter of milk is mixed with it to thicken it. Powdered sugars then added to it. And then 1 bucket of water. All right, milk is ready. Half a liter milk turned into 10 kg milk. From such places, thousands of kgs of artificial milk reaches the halwai walas, and then this is used to make sweets. Now listen as to why these people do this.
तब देखो, अब एक तो नौकरी तो है ही ना जी, और दूसरी एक और बात, अब दूध के रेट कम मिल रहे हैं, तो कैसे भी दूध हमने के बनाना शुरू कर दें सर, या में कम पैसा में ज्यादा दूध बन जावे, और बातें अपना यहाँ भी मिला दें, असली भी मिला दें, दोनों ने मिला के बेच दें, गिरावटी सही आ जाए, कोई पहचान ही ना सके, उतना ही मावा निकले, उतना ही घी बने गोया में, और हम तो सब जगह ऐसे ही बनावे और ऐसे ही बेच दें। हाँ, दिवाली पैसा बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जावे तो असली दूध कहाँ से लावे, अब हलवाई मांगे हैं तो हलवाई इनको भी ऐसी दूध दे में, वो तो खुद के में जी ऐसा ले आओ, कहीं से भी लाओ जी दूध, हमारी पूर्ति करो, तो ऐसी पूर्ति करनी पड़े सब ना। बच्चों को वो जी खुद को उनके बालकन को गाय को पिलाएंगे, हम अपने बालकन को थोड़ी पिलाएंगे, हम तो जो कैमे हैं वो और कहीं भी भेजते हैं, दिल्ली जावे को हमारा कोई अभी नया थोड़ी जा रहा हो, सब पैसियों सालते जा रहा हो, दूध चाय भी पियो आराम से, और दूध दूध दही बढ़िया जमे साहब, दही एकदम ऐसी जमेगी कि एकदम चक्का दही जमे फर्स्ट क्लास, बाजार में खूब दही दही चले।
So, how much time does it take to make 10 kgs of milk?
10 मिनट में, 10 मिनट में मान लो सब काम कंप्लीट, गिरावटी है सब काम से 10 किलो दूध तैयार।
How much milk in a day?
बन जाता है 1 कुंटल के लपेट में।
Don't you think this artificial milk affects the health of people?
असर तो वैसे कोई खास नहीं करता, और क्योंकि आज तक हमने ऐसा देखा नहीं है, और इससे क्या मतलब, दुनिया पैसे के लिए नेता लोग भाग रहे हैं, हम लोगों को क्या दिक्कत है, दुनिया भाग रही है, हम लोग किसान हैं, हम नहीं भागेंगे, हम पीछे क्यों रह जाएंगे।
Aren't you scared of the government?
गाँव में प्रशासन क्या करेगा, प्रशासन की सीमा तो डंबल की रोड तक रहती है, उसके बाद भी प्रशासन कुछ नहीं कर सकता, प्रशासन आदेश लेके जाएगा, हमको किसी का आदेश नहीं लेना।
Artificial milk that is made like this is sent to the biggest of plants, and from there this artificial milk is sent to your home.
So, my dear friends, so
This person, or not revealing his identity,
it is not that every milk is like this, but you may never know whenever you encounter any kind of things which you eat outside, right? What kind of adulteration that might have happened, you never know, right? So that is why it is very, very important to keep attention on what we are eating, like never before, right? For the last 7 years, 10 years, this food adulteration has been happening very rapidly, right? So that is why we need to have that consciousness, what we are eating. Are we eating the foods which are from the genuine sources, right? Because most of these adulterated foods creates a lot of inflammation in the body, right? If you see 90% of the diseases falls under ITIS category. What is this? Any disease caused by inflammation of a particular organ is called ITIS, which means if there is an inflammation of stomach lining, we call it as gastritis, right? Inflammation of appendix, appendicitis, and inflammation of joints, arthritis, inflammation in the skin, dermatitis, colon, colitis, liver, hepatitis, esophagus, esophagitis, pancreas, pancreatitis, retina, retinitis. My dear friends, there are more than 164 diseases that we see that are nothing but inflammation of a particular organ, right? So what is one of the biggest contributor for inflammation of these organs and contributor of having all these issues? The foods which are being adulterated, right? So that is why I want you to pay little attention, understand, right, while you are having any food, right? So if you can just figure it out once, you will be able to understand exactly what foods are actually perfect for you, for your family, right? And then the second practice which you need to follow is stop or reduce eating the deep fried foods, right? Why am I saying this? Reducing or stopping deep fried foods. Let's understand. Every time we are eating foods that are completely deep fried, right? What happens? Let's see, anything cooked beyond 120 degrees in oil creates trans fats in our body. When we eat that, this particular foods will create a lot of trans fats in our body, right? These trans fats contain compound called carcinogens, right? And for certain kind of people who have inflammation in their body, over a period of time, these carcinogens will become cancer cells in the body, right? So that is why it is very, very important to actually understand it and practice it. And these trans fats are also biggest contributor for the bad cholesterol in our body that leads to heart attacks, heart blocks, heart strokes, right? So that is why it is very, very important to reduce the intake of those, right? So you may have a question, how do I know that a particular food is cooked beyond 120 degrees, right? Very simple. If you are cooking anything till that particular food contains water, right? It is up to 105 degrees, maximum 105 degrees, right? So when any food, right, reaches 120 degrees, it means water is completely evaporated and it becomes deep fried. So that is why I want you to understand, try to reduce the intake of deep fried foods, right? Or if possible, try to stop it in this journey for the next 3 to 4 months, completely stop it to reduce the inflammation, right? And then the third practice which you need to follow is reducing the consumption of foods that contain additives and preservatives, right? If you see most of the foods which we buy from the supermarkets nowadays, which are packed, canned, tinned, contains a lot of additives and preservatives. And the most unfortunate thing is most of these additives and preservatives contains different harmful compounds and they become carcinogens in the body that is leading to different kinds of cancers in the body, right? My dear friends, if you see, if you buy a tomato ketchup, if you just see the label over here, you can see only 28% tomato paste, right? In a tomato ketchup. Then rest is what? Sugar and additives and preservatives to preserve that for a very long time, right? So if you can see most of the foods which you may be using in the home, which contains preservatives and additives, they may be harmful for your body. That is why it is very, very important to pay little attention, okay? How many types of foods you are eating in your kitchen which are having all these additives and preservatives, and reducing the intake, right? So after knowing all these things, you may have a doubt. So if something is happening like this outside, then who is going to protect us? My dear friends, nobody is going to tell us, nobody is going to push us, nobody is going to pull us to know all these things, to practice all the healthy habits, right? Who has to take the responsibility for these things? I want everyone to say, me. I have to take the responsibility, right? I have to take the responsibility to have some basic health education. I have to take the responsibility to know some basic nutrition. And I have to invest on my health, right? To prevent any of these issues happening to us and our families. So, my dear friends, how many of you would like to improve not only your health, in fact, all areas of your life in the year 2025? How many of you would like to improve all areas? Type me in the chat box. Great, great, great. So to do that, we are going to do an activity. This activity is called as creating the personal codex, right? So what does this personal codex mean? Personal codex is an exercise that we do to know exactly what we want in life and where we are at right now and how to reach there, right? As simple as that. So this personal codex will help you to review and reflect and recreate your life. And I want everyone to grab your notebook and pen because we are going to do this activity for the next 10-15 minutes. Okay. So before that, let me ask you a question. What is the purpose of life? Right? So the purpose of life for anybody is to live a healthy, wealthy, and happy life. Right? Every moment we want to live healthy, wealthy, and happy. Right? So we need to balance all these three elements. And what are the different areas which we need to work on to live a healthy, wealthy, and happy life? Health, wealth, relationships, and then recreation and contribution. My dear friends, these are the 5 major key areas in our life where we need to take care of, right? To be able to live a healthy and happy life, right? You need health to live a healthy life, you need wealth to lead a wealthy life, and you need relationships and taking breaks, recreating yourself, and having contribution in your life to be able to living a fulfilled life, right? So to live a holistic life, you need to make sure that you have to work on all these areas and you have to embrace all these areas, right? How many of you would like to live a holistic life? Type H in the chat box if you would like to live a holistic life in the year 2025 by improving all of these areas. Wonderful. So how do you know that whether you are living a holistic life or not? Simply by knowing, right, where we are at each area of the life. In other words, we need to know exactly where we are at each area of these, right? So my dear friends, to know that where we are going to, like where we are at each area of our life, we are going to take a test that will help you to know, right? So we are going to take a holistic life test. With that particular test, we are going to understand exactly where we are at in each area of life, so that we can understand which areas we need to work on, right? And my dear friends, most people are unhappy because they don't know what they want in life, right? It's not that people don't have knowledge or talent. It's about they don't have clarity on what they want. If you have crystal clarity on what you want in life, you will exactly get that. Type S in the chat box if you think it makes sense. Right, wonderful. So why we are going to measure all these areas? Why we are going to measure all the elements? Because my dear friends, understand, health is not just about having some healthy food. Health is the combination of all elements in our life. It could be mental, emotional, and financial and spiritual areas of our life. That's why we are going to measure all these elements in the life. And how we are going to do it? I'll tell one parameter at a time for each area, and you will have to write the parameter on the left side of the page, and you will have to give a score between 0 and 4 based on your experience. Okay, don't worry, I'll tell you how to give the score. I hope everyone is ready with your notebook and pen, right? How many of you are ready? Type R in the chat box if you are ready to take this wonderful test, which will give you complete clarity about your life, right? And to set the goals for the new year, and to be able to improve all areas of your life. Okay, great. And let's start with the health parameters. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 parameters in health. Okay, you will have to give a score between 0 and 4. Let's start with the first parameter. Are you at your ideal weight? Is your weight appropriate for your height and weight? My dear friends, if you are someone who is very far from your ideal weight, give yourself a score 0. And if you are someone who is far from your ideal weight, give yourself a score 1 or 2, right? And if you are someone who is very near to your ideal weight, maybe near to your ideal weight, give a score 3. And if you are around exactly at your ideal weight, then give yourself a score 4, right? I hope everyone understand how to give the score, and I hope everyone understand why this is one of the important indicator, right, when it comes to health. And then, do you feel energetic and active throughout the day? If you are someone who loses energy during the day, not active throughout the day, feeling weakness, fatigue, sometimes feeling sleepy, lack of enthusiasm, lack of interest on the things around us, right? Not able to focus on things for a very longer period of time, give yourself a score between 0 and 1. And sometimes 2. And if you are someone who feels energetic throughout the day, active throughout the day, being productive throughout the day, you can focus on things and full of enthusiasm, then give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. And do you eat balanced and nutritious diet daily, right? Are you someone who eats food consciously, right? And give the scores before the detox challenge. Okay, so just consider it as how you were doing, how you were before the detox, before you starting the detox. Okay, based on that, give yourself a scores. And do you eat a balanced and nutritious meal, which means are you someone who eat consciously, right? You know what you need to eat, you are just balancing. You are balancing the taste and you are balancing the nutrition, right? Or whether you are someone who eats whatever is available, right? Whatever is available in your home. When you go outside, just you would eat just because you like something, right? You don't pay much attention to what you are eating. You don't know what nutrition is there. You don't know whether you are balancing your nutrition or not. If you are someone who is eating without having awareness what food to eat, right, for your body, then give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And sometimes you eat consciously and sometimes you lose, give yourself a score 2. And if you are someone who eats food consciously by knowing exactly what you are eating and you are balancing both taste and nutrition, right, then give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. And regularly you engage in any exercise or physical activity. If you are someone who does not have any dedicated time for any physical activity, or you are always busy, no time for any physical activity, having sedentary lifestyle, desk job, right, give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And if you are someone who has moderate physical activity, right, give yourself a score 2. If you are someone who has a daily dedicated time for any physical activity, right, or you have a very active lifestyle, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. And do you get 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep every night? If you are someone who is struggling in sleeping, right, you don't get the consistent proper sleep, lack of deep sleep, always turning and twisting, right, when you go to the bed you don't get the sleep very easily. You will always scroll through the phone, browsing the phone till 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., right? And when you wake up, you don't feel that energy, you feel tired, you feel like you want to sleep for some more time. Give yourself a score between 0 and 1. And if your sleep is moderate, sometimes it is good, sometimes you are struggling, give yourself a score 2. If you are someone who has absolutely high quality deep sleep every single night, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. And the next parameter is, do you feel mentally alert and focused during the day? If you are someone who does not feel alert, right, or you are not focused during the day, you are always distracted, keep forgetting the things, not able to being productive, right, struggling in completing some important things in your life, right, give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1, sometimes 2. And if you have clean, wonderful, good mental alert and focus during the day in your personal life and professional life, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. And can you handle stress well in your daily life? If you are someone who always face stress and anxiety in your daily life, you are not able to handle it very easily, right? It takes a lot of your time and energy to be able to come out of this stress, right? Give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And sometimes or moderate stress 2. If you are someone who can handle stress very easily, right, you don't feel stressed much, you don't feel anxiety for any of those things, right, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. Are you generally satisfied with your life, right? So if you are someone who is generally not satisfied or not happy with the things around you or people around you or about your life, it is not about the particular issue, particular thing, right? Generally, on an average, on a typical day, on an average day, if you are someone who is not satisfied, who is lack of happiness, lack of fulfillment, right, lot of complaints around the people, you feel that your environment is not good, then give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And if you have this moderately, right, sometimes satisfied, sometimes you feel lack of fulfillment, give yourself a score 2. And if you are someone who is generally satisfied and happy with the things around you, with the people around you, right, irrespective of what happens to you, irrespective of things that are happening around you, you generally feel that happiness, fulfillment, joyful, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. Can you handle criticism, or can you forgive people who hurt you? If you are someone who cannot handle criticism, so when someone criticizes you, maybe your family members, your spouse, parents, right, maybe your boss, if someone criticizes you for the things you did, Okay, maybe you may be doing right or wrong, but somehow you got that criticism, right? You cannot handle the criticism very easily. It is hurting you, right? It takes a lot of time for you to be able to come out of it. Or if you are someone who cannot forgive the people very easily, people who hurt you, right? Emotionally, you will be broken. It takes a lot of time for you to be able to come out of these emotional, negative emotions, emotional issues. You are unable to tolerate the criticism, unable to forgive. Give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And if you can occasionally handle the criticism and you can forgive others, then give yourself a score 2. If you can handle the criticism very well, right? And if you can forgive the people very easily, even the people who hurt you, then give yourself a score between 3 and 4, which means you have the skill to handle all these things very easily, effortlessly. Can you handle negative emotions like anger, sadness, frustration? If you are someone who cannot handle these negative emotions easily, it takes a lot of time for you, or it takes a lot of efforts for you to be able to handle the negative emotions, right? All the time, people around you, things around you are creating this, triggering these negative emotions, and you are being a victim, right? Give yourself a score between 0 and 1. My dear friends, your emotional health will reflect in your physical health, right? Most people don't realize it. How you feel emotionally will directly reflect on your body, right? So when we say about health, most of us always focus on diet and exercise, but emotional health also plays a crucial role, right? How we deal with all these negative emotions, negative feelings plays a very crucial role, because the research shows that chronic stress or unresolved emotions can lead to increased levels of cortisol in our body, right? What is this cortisol? It's a stress hormone. When you feel stressed, when you have negative emotions, when you feel anger, sadness, regret, you get this stress hormone. Because of that, most of the people will get these digestive issues, heart problems, irregular cholesterol levels, right? This could lead to low immunity. So that is why it is very, very important marker when it comes to overall health, right? And if you are someone who can moderately manage it, give yourself a score 2. If you are someone who can handle these emotions very easily, give yourself a higher score, right? So my dear friends, we are done with the health parameters. Okay, we have 10 parameters and we are done with that. And let's get into the wealth parameters, right? So do you feel free from stress and anxiety about the money matters? If you are someone who has always stress and anxiety regarding the money, right? Sometimes even though you may be making good amount of money, but still you have stress in managing the money, in investing the money, right? Always feels the stress and anxiety around the money. Give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. Sometimes 2. If you are someone who do not have any kind of stress and anxiety around the money, right? You are making the money, managing the money and investing the money effortlessly, you have a clear system for that, then give yourself a score between 3 and 4. Do you have an emergency fund that can cover at least 12 months of the expenses, right? So my dear friends, if you do not have any emergency fund means money in the savings accounts or liquid funds, right? So that can cover at least 12 months of expenses. Give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And if you have it around 12 months, give yourself a score 2. If you have sufficient funds that can cover at least 12 months of your expenses in the sense your monthly home expenditure, it could be 50,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, whatever the total expenditure, okay, per a month for your family, right? So why this is an important indicator? Because for most of the people, if they do not have any emergency fund savings, right, they will always have this stress and anxiety around the money that could lead to irregular stress hormones, and that could lead to lot of physical health issues over a period of time, right? Blood pressure, diabetes, thyroid. So that is why it is very, very important to make sure that you manage it well. And do you feel financially independent without relying on others? If you are someone who always depends on other people, right, for the money, right, asking other people, or even though you may be earning the money, but you always you cannot manage the money properly. That is why you will have to depend on others, right? If you are someone who is earning the money, right? So then give yourself a score between 0 and 1, sometimes 2. And if you are actually independent of relying on others, right? So you are making money, you are managing money very well. You very rarely depend on other people, right? Give yourself a higher score. My dear friends, feeling financially independent free up our mind from the stress, and that empowers us to make healthier decisions in each aspect of our life. That's why it is one of the important indicator. And finally, do you spend at least 1 hour every week or at least one day in a month to budget your expenses and to plan your investments, right? My dear friends, if you do not have a system to spend at least 1 hour in a week or at least one day in a month to manage the money properly, to create the budgets, right? So your spendings, and to plan and manage the money, to plan the investments, then give yourself a score between 0 and 1, right? It could be for you and your family, I'm saying. And if you manage it sometimes, if you do it sometimes but not consistently, then give yourself a score 2. My dear friends, if you are someone who have a clear system for financial management, right? So every week you keep a dedicated time for managing these finances, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. Because having a clear financial planning with the money can give us clear mental clarity, and it leads to peace of mind, right? This is also one of the major indicator for your overall health. So that was about the wealth parameters. I hope everyone done with that. If you are done with it, type D in the chat box, done with the wealth parameters. Okay, and then let's enter into the next parameter, next area, that is relationships. Okay, let's see, are you able to express your feelings openly and appropriately with the people? If you are someone who is not able to express your feelings openly and appropriately with the people around you, maybe with your family members, with your loved ones, maybe in your office, with your colleagues, with your boss, right? Give yourself a score between 0 and 1. Sometimes you do it 2. And if you can clearly, if you are someone who always clearly express your feelings openly and appropriately to anybody at any point of time, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. Why this is an important indicator? Because suppressing the emotions or feelings can spike the stress hormones in our body, that weakens our immunity, that could lead to a lot of chronic health conditions for most of the people, right? So that is why sharing your feelings, expressing your feelings is very, very important, right? Whether it's a joy, frustration, sadness, it helps relieve our internal pressures, build a more peaceful mind, right? And are you socially active and participative in community or group events? If you are someone who is not able to be active, right? If you are someone who is not able to be participative in any of the events, social gatherings, you are not able to mingle with the people very easily, you feel shy, you feel the feeling, or you have the feeling of judgment, other people will judge me, right? Give yourself a score between 0 and 1. And if you feel it sometimes 2, and if you are someone who is socially very active, you will be able to take part in any of the community events, you will be able to speak in front of the people, mingle with the people very easily, give yourself a higher score, right? My dear friends, social engagement is very, very important. We humans are social beings, right? So social engagement helps reduce the feelings of loneliness and depression. And being part of a group or a community, right? And being part of the events will give us a sense of belongingness, and it boosts our self-esteem. So when we are surrounded with the like-minded people, you get motivated to maintain the healthy habits, sharing ideas, and lean on each other for the encouragement, right? So that is why it is a very important indicator. And then, do you express love and appreciation to those who care about you? My dear friends, are you someone who has a lot of love and care for the people around you, but you don't express it to them because you feel shy, right? You feel like, if I express, right, it doesn't look good. Give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. and if you express sometimes, and if you don't, sometimes give yourself a score 2. And if you are someone who always expresses your love and appreciation with the people who you care about, right? Always you are being expressive, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. Because, my dear friends, regularly showing love and gratitude will foster the deeper and more secure connection with your family and friends. And expressing appreciation releases feel good hormones like oxytocin, serotonin in our body, which lifts our mood, promote our healthier state of mind, right? That is why it is very, very important indicator when it comes to your mental and emotional health. And do you spend meaningful time with your family and loved ones regularly? If you are someone who is very busy, not able to spend quality time with your family and loved ones, give yourself a score between 0 and 1. So spending time means it is not just eating dinner at the same time at the same place, right? Or being together in the home. Spending meaningful time means spending time with the people, with the people you love, by having laughter, sharing stories, showing the love and affection, right? So that is what the meaning of spending meaningful time, right? Because if you see, most of the people, they are together, but they don't spend the meaningful time with other, right? That's why give yourself a lower score if you don't have this. And moderately too, if you are someone who spends quality time with your family and loved ones on a regular basis, right? Every day or once in every 2 days, 3 days, you spend some quality time with the family, give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. And then let's jump into the next area, that is recreation, which means leisure, taking break, taking some time for yourself. What is the first parameter? Do you regularly engage in any hobbies that you enjoy? My dear friends, if you are someone who cannot engage in any hobby on a daily basis to get relief and recharge, like gardening, painting, playing an instrument, swimming, playing, right, pet caring, anything, right? Anything which is outside of your work, your normal personal and professional work, anything which you enjoy, right, doing it, it should be a hobby. So if you do not have it on a daily basis, or at least once or twice in a week, give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And if you have some hobbies at least once a week, give yourself a score 2. My dear friends, if you are someone who engage in hobbies regularly to get relief, to recharge yourself, to recreate yourself, to come out of the stress, then give yourself a score between 3 and 4. Because enjoying or engaging in the hobbies is very, very important when it comes to release of hormone called endorphins, thereby lifting our mood, improving our overall well-being, right? If you are someone who does not have any hobby, your body is always stressed, lot of inflammation, no feel good hormones, right? That is why you will not feel energy and enthusiasm and things around us. And do you take vacations or short breaks to recharge? If you are someone who does not take any time to go for a vacation, to take a break from your regular personal and professional life, at least once in 6 months, give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. And if you are someone who do it at least once a year, maybe alone or with your family, with your friends, taking some break and enjoying and recreating yourself from inside and coming back with full of energy and enthusiasm, give yourself a score 2. And if you are someone who does it at least once in every 6 months, taking a big break, okay, recreating yourself, give yourself a higher score. My dear friends, in today's environment, it is very easy to burn out and stress in our personal and professional lives, right? So stepping away from our work and household obligations can actually spark the new ideas, and it can create a clearer thinking, right? And study shows that taking regular breaks can improve the problem solving skills, and it can increase the performance and productivity, right? And contribution parameters, the final one, right? Number one, do you actively participate in community service or volunteer work? If you are someone who does not have any time to participate in any community activity, right, or doing any volunteership for any work, it could be anything spiritual, it could be like charity, okay, or it could be contributing your time. It does not have to be money, right? So participating in the community service does not mean just giving the charity of the money. It could be anything. Do you have any of the time, at least once a month, for this community or volunteer work? If you don't have, give yourself a lower score between 0 and 1. Sometimes 2. My dear friends, if you are someone who regularly engage in these activities to get the fulfillment, then give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. It is very important because every time you contribute something to the society, to the people, right, to be able to do certain contribution, you will always have this more positive mental and emotional energies, right? It will reduce stress, it will promote the spiritual energy within you. So the final one, do you regularly express gratitude for what you already have? My dear friends, are you someone who does not have any time, who did not have any dedicated time in a day, right, who are not paying attention, are not showing gratitude for what you already have, right? On a regular basis, give yourself a score between 0 and 1. If you are someone who shows the gratitude for what you already have, at least sometimes give yourself a score 2. And if you are someone who has a dedicated time on a regular basis, daily basis, you take 5 minutes a day, early in the morning when you wake up, you show gratitude for the things around you, right? Give yourself a higher score between 3 and 4. My dear friends, study shows that gratitude practice is linked to overall health, right? It improves your sleep, it lowers your blood pressure, it improves your immunity, right? It's one of the most important thing when it comes to overall health. So we are done with all the parameters, and I want you to total, okay, all of your parameters for each area when it comes to health, wealth, relationships, recreation, and contribution. And I want you to type out in the chat box what are your scores for health, wealth, relationships, recreation, and contribution. And my dear friends, how many of you feel that you understand so much about yourself after taking this test? Type I in the chat box. And how many of you observed you need to improve a lot of areas, right? Type in the chat box if you understood what are the areas you need to improve. And have you ever wondered what's the one fundamental pillar that supports every single area of your life? What's the one area that will have the ripple effect? My dear friends, that is health, right? Health is the foundation upon which you will build the other areas, right? If you are struggling in health, if you are not able to reach your peak potential in health, when are you going to reach your peak performance? When are you going to embrace all other areas of life, right? So that is why it is very, very important to fix the fundamentals, right? That reminds me a story where we have a client called Ravi. He's from Bangalore. He's a businessman basically. So he was running his business. He has a good, loving family. But when we had a conversation in his consulting call, he told me that despite having success, he neglected his health for a very long time, skipping the meals, right? So working very late, very every day. And what happened with him? During a crucial meeting with his team, he suffered from a sudden chest pain, admitted to hospital, and he got the mild heart stroke. He was in ICU for almost 10 days. He was sharing with me. So his business stopped for a while, financially suffered. His family was devastated. So when he was on the ICU bed, his family members, his wife and kids are outside the ICU room and they were worried about him. So he said, on the hospital bed, everything was flashing in his mind, right? He was thinking, what happens to my family if something happens to me? Why am I doing all these things? Why am I neglecting my health? By neglecting my health, I'm letting down my family, right? So this wake up call made him to realize the importance of health, right? So then he started taking the seriousness, then he committed for his health, right? Then he started working on his health. Now he's living his wonderful life, right? So my dear friends, no matter how luxurious car you have, without having a well functioning engine, it won't start, it won't run, right? Similarly, if you do not have a great health, right, you might not, even though you may be having great wealth, relationships, you may be having a lot of opportunities, but without health, everything is challenging. You cannot enjoy any other area of life, right? There is a old saying, health is wealth, right? How many of you know it? My dear friends, health is more than that. Health is happiness, health is freedom, health is the foundation upon which we build our dreams. So that is how we are going to close our personal codex, by completing, by writing our goals, right? So I want you to write your goals for 2025, right? I want you to be specific in writing these three goals. Let's end the personal codex by writing these three goals. Number one, your health goal. What is your specific health goal by the end of 2025, by December 31st? What is the exact health goal which you are looking for? I want you to write it. And I want you to write your wealth goal, right? How much you would like to earn by the end of 31st December, because that is also very, very important. Be specific, right? And then experiential goal. Experiential goal means what kind of experience you want to give it to your family. It could be taking them to a vacation, it could be having a family gathering, like having a family function, right? Anything, whatever the experience you want to give it for your family. These are the three primary goals which you need to have, right? And I'm giving you another 10 seconds. I want you to write the three goals, three specific goals for yourself. Okay. Yes, be very specific in writing the goals. Okay. Yeah, someone has written, I want to completely come out of, get rid of this acid reflux by the end of 2025. Okay, and be specific in your wealth and other experiential goals as well. Okay, I want you to write it down without miss. Great. And my dear friends, I want you to close your eyes. Everyone, just close your eyes for the next 2 minutes, because we are going to do a visualization practice. I want everyone just keep your pen and paper there. Okay. And I want you to visualize. Okay. I want you to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let me start the music over here. My dear friends, I want you to visualize. Be relaxed, sit in a comfortable position. Take a deep breath. I want everyone to take a deep breath and imagine you started this healing journey and you are actually working on your health for the next 1 month. You are eating all the healthy foods, right? Whatever your nutritionist is suggesting, and you are being mindful when it comes to your health, and you are being mindful in all other areas of your life. And after 1 month, visualize yourself. You wake up early in the morning and you feel alert, you feel motivated, you have a lot of energy, and you started your day with one glass of water, and you did the yoga exercise for 20 minutes, and you see a lot of positive energy within you, within your body. And then you started taking a healthy breakfast, right? And you have seen a lot of improvement in your health, right? Your health is actually supporting you. And then in the next month, you started focusing on your wealth or financial area, right? Imagine yourself taking some time to review your finances, having a clear budget, having clear investment plans for you, yourself, and your family. Yeah. And imagine you are at peace and you are very confident with respect to your finances, right? And imagine yourself, you are spending quality time with your family and friends every single day, feeling happy, and you are being very expressive in your communication, and you have the feeling of gratitude every single day. And imagine yourself having a hobby, right? Every day, just spending some time for your hobby, enjoying yourself, recreating yourself. And my dear friends, imagine yourself taking some time to do some volunteer work, some community activity, teaching or planting trees or helping others in the need. And my dear friends, imagine yourself by the end of the third month, your friends and family and your colleagues are observing your transformation and they are seeing a lot of positive changes in your health, mindset, and lifestyle. And they are eager to learn from you, and you are actually happy to guide them and becoming a role model. You become absolutely a role model and a leader in your family and in your circle. My dear friends, take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath, be relaxed, and I want you to gently open your eyes. How are you feeling now? Type out in the chat box how you are feeling now. Okay, great, good, relaxed, awesome, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And my dear friends, to reach your goals, to reach the goals which you have set for yourself, what you need to have? You need to have the right mindset, right? What are the two different kinds of mindsets when it comes to health? There are two kinds of mindset: illness mindset and wellness mindset, right? Illness mindset, where the people are reactive, right? They don't have any healthy habits, they don't invest on their health education, right? They don't take care of their health until they have a health issue. Whereas the second category of people who have wellness mindset, they are being proactive, they have healthy habits, healthy patterns, whether they have health issue or not, right? They have wellness in their life, at least 15, 20, 30 minutes a day. They take care of their body, they take care of their mind, and these are all the characteristics of illness mindset. They don't have any healthy habits and rituals, right? Like symptomatic approach. Whenever they have any health issues, they focused on long term, right? They blame others if they have any health issue. Whereas wellness mindset, they take the responsibility, right? They focus on long term healing, they fix the issues, and they have a healthy habits and rituals that will protect them to prevent any future health complications, right? And they reach their full potential. My dear friends, if you want to change the fruits, you must first change the roots, right? What are the roots? Our belief systems. Most of us, because of our environment, because of our childhood conditioning, because of the people surrounded with us, we don't pay much attention to our health, right? And we don't spend money on the health, we spend money for the illnesses, right? Whenever we have illness, then we go to the hospital, then we spend a lot of money, right? And lack of people surrounded with people who have health awareness and healthy habits. My dear friends, I want you to completely shift these belief systems to actually include the wellness mindset. And my dear friends, if you can practice, right, if you can include wellness mindset in your life, if you can include wellness in your life, you can make the universe surrender to you, right? So, my dear friends, we are done with the day 10, right? So, congratulations, everyone. And can we reflect back on this journey, right? What an incredible journey we have had together over the past 10 days. We have detoxed, learned, and applied. And most importantly, we have started seeing transformation, right? So, the energy in the room is electrifying. That's because of all the amazing people you are and the amazing progress you have made. So, congratulations for everyone for showing up, for having the commitment to take charge of your health, right? And most unfortunately, some of the people will always look for some magic pill, right? The kind of medicine or pill. But let me tell you, my dear friends, there is no magic pill that can cure any kind of health issues. There is only a logic that is making changes in our diet and lifestyle, right? By attending all these 10 days, you showed that, right? You understood the logic behind that. So far we have applied all the detox techniques, and now it's the time to start the healing journey. What is the healing means? Giving ability to your body to heal with the right personalized healing diet and supplementations, right? So why you need to continue the journey? Some of the people have already enrolled for the program and continuing the journey, but some of you are still thinking, right, should I need to continue the journey? My dear friends, only when we have the accountability and support, then only we will be able to do the things, right? It's not about the information you can actually learn from the internet, you can go on YouTube, right? But the thing is implementing the things, right? Because you have the accountability and you have the support system for all these 10 days, you are actually able to practice the things, right? And deeper healing through personalized plans. So if you are someone who is not suffering from any health issue, then you don't have to worry about, right? This detox is enough for you. But if you are someone who is suffering from any of these acidity, digestive, or any kind of metabolic issues, it is very, very important to work on the healing, right? Because nobody comes to you and nobody will help you to come out of these issues, right? It's you yourself has to take charge of your health, right? So that is why it is very, very important to get the personalized diet plan and making sure that you are healing from inside. Number 3, motivation and momentum, right? So if you are someone who has been continuing this journey for the last 10 days, it is very important to continue the momentum, right? Because if you lose the momentum, again, it does not take more than 15-20 days to go back to the old patterns, right? Because it is very easier for us to quit, right? So that is why it is very, very important to keep continuing the momentum and having the motivation, right? My dear friends, remember one thing in life: if you are struggling in any area of life, be it health, financial freedom, making more money, growth in your career, or having good relationships, all you need is a system and a mentor, right? Nothing good or great can be achieved without a system or a mentor, right? Simply understand why you are sending your kids to school, right? If you have kids, why are you sending them to the school? Why not just leaving them alone, right? What happens if they don't have any school at all? They'll always play, doing here and there, end up learning nothing, right? My dear friends, here school is a system and teacher is a mentor. Because of having a system, right, they are actually following all the things, and because of having a mentor, they are actually being accountable to what they are doing, right? Studying, learning the things. Same way in our life also. Yesterday when I asked you how many of you are actually practicing all these techniques, how many of you got result, 90% of you are said that you are following these practices and you got the result. What is the reason? Because you have a system here, right? Daily we are discussing about certain things, getting clarity and implementing small steps, so that you'll be able to implement it, adapt it to your life. And we have a mentor, right, to handhold you. That is the reason why 90% of you are getting results. So imagine you are not enrolling for this detox program, your life is normal. Imagine, are you able to practice all these things? Imagine whether you are able to get this confidence of being able to reverse your health issues, right? So what happens is 90% of the people go back to their old habits, right? Whenever they don't have a system, they don't have a mentor. Only 5 to 10% of the people have the strength to follow, even though they don't have any accountability, right? So consequences of not following, not taking the action is people, when I see people who are done with the detox and they don't continue their journey after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, they always come back because their problem again comes back and they really want to continue their journey, right? My dear friends, why do you have to waste time and energy, right? Why do you have to suffer? Just continue the journey, take action, take charge of your health by including the right healthy habits, by taking the help of experts who have done it, right? So let me congratulate everyone who applied and qualified for this program. Congratulations, everyone. And you have already got the qualification messages. So yesterday, 21 people applied for the program and we have qualified 18 people, right? So congratulations for continuing this journey. And we are so happy and we are so much excited to start this new wonderful healing journey, which will introduce a new chapter in your life, right? And if there are any people who would like to enroll for the program now, you can enroll it, right? You can apply for the program because we have only 2 slots. Okay, we can take only 2 people. If you are someone who would really want to continue the journey, who would really want to reverse your issues from the roots, if you really want to reach your peak potential, ultimate health, to be able to improve all other areas of life, then you can apply for this program for the next 10 minutes because I'm going to close the session in next 10 minutes. Okay, and people who got messages that you are qualified for this program, you will get an assessment form, okay, where you need to fill the form, where we ask all of your body parameters and food sensitivities and the entire your medical history. Okay, if you give all that information, it will be very helpful for the doctor and nutritionist to look into that, to be able to create the right diet and lifestyle plan for you, which you can start immediately. Okay, so these are the parameters we consider: your blood reports, your medical history, food sensitivities, and your metabolic rate. Okay, we will ask certain questions, so you will have to fill the form. Once you fill the form, we will get complete clarity about all these things, and then you will have a first consultation call with Dr. Amandeep Rana, who is the gut health expert, okay, who is going to guide this batch. So he is going to take the first consultation call. People who completed this assessment form, then they will get the calendar link to book an appointment with Dr. Amandeep Rana, and then we will have a orientation session on Friday, right? So people who enroll for the program, they'll get all the information from our side, and this orientation session is the first session for the healing. It is very, very important, right? Because in this orientation session, I'm going to reveal the complete roadmap. Okay, what we are going to do, why we are going to do, so what are the things which you need to follow during this journey, right? All these things we are going to discuss. So don't miss this orientation session, very important. I don't want anyone to miss this session. And to get all these things, complete the remaining payment. Okay, so if you complete the remaining payment immediately, you will get all these things. You will get the assessment form, you will have the first consultation call, and you will get access to the orientation session, right? You will get link only when you make the full payment. And my dear friends, if you are someone who really want to know exactly what is this healing journey all about, I'll just within 5 minutes I'll summarize. Okay, healing is nothing but fixing all the other three stages of digestion, right? And healing your gut lining, improving your gut bacteria, right? Detox is all about getting relief, and healing is all about reversal. So yeah, yesterday we have seen 85% of our immunity lies in our gut. That is why we are working on the immunity. So our objective is to healing all the inflammations and making sure that your gut lining will look like this, right? For most of the people who are suffering from acidity, acid reflux, gastritis, or stomach bloating, constipation, any kind of digestive issues, one of the major reason is having inflamed gut lining. So by the end of the fourth month, our objective is to making sure that your gut lining is perfect so that you can absorb all the nutrients, you can improve the gut bacteria, right? So that you can completely come out of any of these issues by strengthening the sphincter and balancing the acids, healing the gut lining, resetting the colon, right? If you can see, most of the people, every time anybody who enroll for the program, most of the people will take action. I would say every batch we see 95% success rate, right? So people who shown commitment, they will get the results. If you can see,
Yeah, how are you?
so he is Selvader, he is from Goa. So he was suffering from severe health issues before enrolling for the program, right? So he has heart stroke 2 times, suffering from severe acid reflux and lot of digestive issues. Went to so many, the best of the best doctors in the entire country, right? But after continuing his journey for the healing, within just 1 month, see what happened, right? This is his message in the group. Today I completed 1 month without PPI capsule or any other gastric tablet, right? He was taking gastric medicine every single day for the last 6 years, right? And within 1 month, he was able to completely come out of this medication. And let's see what happened.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. Good to see you again.
Oh, thank
Every
you.
time I see you, I feel I'm curing a lot.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And Selvader ji, can I know exactly what was happening with you, okay, before this entire Heal Easy program? So what were the health issues you were suffering and what happens during the program and what is the result now? Can you just give us all the journey quickly, briefly?
Yeah, briefly, when before joining, I used to take a PPI tablet for last 5 years.
Last 5 years.
5 years I was taking it. I had lots of consultation with allopathy doctors, many medicines I had taken. I had taken Ayurvedic tablets and all these things, but it didn't stop anyway. Then at last, the doctor or this was really I was very tired of taking this medicines because without that I was not able to eat anything. And even in the night, I used to get resurgation and acidity. And because of this problem, I missed, like you said, I missed my first attack, which I got it. And when I got second attack, I had to go angio in March.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that,
Attack means you want to say?
yeah, because I used to get heartburns and a lump in the chest, which used to go behind and all that. Normally for acidity and all that. But that day I thought, oh, I missed it, that it was really a mild attack. But I thought it was an acid attack. Afterwards, when I started sweating and all that, and I got a second attack, I went to the doctor and immediately I had to be admitted. And like very next day, my angio was there. So it was very bad for me. And it is not that because I was having high cholesterol also. Cholesterol is to go haywire, like triglyceride is to go about 300 and all that. My pressure also was going haywire. Okay, so when I joined your 10 days detox, and after getting a good, the benefits in this 10-day detox, I decided to join for the long program. Okay, and from the very first week, just entering a program, I stopped my PPI tablets. Okay, so till now I have not taken PPI, and there was no need for the PPI for me. Even though I had some antibiotics and all that due to my chest congestion, because normally all the allopathy doctors gives PPI tablets for antibiotics. But for that also I have not taken. I consulted my nutritionist. I asked him what to do. So he told, it's up to you. If you are feeling good, then don't take PPI. So I have not taken that PPI also. And now, after 2 months, my uric acid was high. Okay, my triglyceride that came to normal. My triglyceride came within 150. Okay. Due to my diet also, and I lost 10 kgs. Okay. In this 2.5, 3 months, I lost 10 kgs. Because of that, I had my knee pains due to uric acid and osteoarthritis also. That tablet also is being stopped now. Stop means I don't wanted to take that tablet because my weight has decreased. So the weight falling on my knees has decreased, and the pain, decreased by almost 60%. So I said, why to take that tablet also?
Wonderful. So you were able to reverse all these issues even in
all.
the healing during the healing journey itself.
Yeah, even cholesterol, my pressure is normal now. My
So, my dear friends, that is how the journey looks like, right? When you start your healing journey, slowly you will see within 1 month itself, you will be able to see most of the relief. So, that is why I'm introducing this acidity and digestive problems reversal healing program, right? So this healing program is a personalized support system basically. So you will have doctor, nutritionist and health coach, okay, allotted to you, and they are going to completely handhold till you reverse your issues, right? My dear friends, if you go to any hospital, what happens? They'll just give advice, right? 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you spend with the doctor, and that's it. Do you think you can reverse all these issues? You can actually practice all these issues by just having one advice? So that is the reason why I have started this platform, right? I know that nobody can reverse any health issue by just one advice. People need hand holding, people need support, people need to know the step by step approach, people need to identify the kinds of the foods that are actually triggering these issues. People should actually get the right kind of guidance, right? And people should get the help from all areas. It's not just about the diet, it's about having physical activity in the morning, taking care of mindset, taking care of mental health, right? And accountability. So all these things are needed. That is the reason why I'm having this journey. I want you to take to a journey. It's not about just giving some random advices, right? So this 4 months journey looks like this. Month one, we are going to work on ingestion, and then digestion, then absorption, then again we will work on the elimination. By the end of the 4th month, you will completely reset your digestive system, right? You'll be a completely new person with completely new energy, completely come out of all these issues. So the outcomes coming out of all these issues, getting into ideal weight, get rid of fatigue and weakness. So this is what happens for most of the people, right? For most of the people, the gut is the major reason. Once you completely reset the gut, you will be able to see the completely energy back, and you'll have a lot of awareness on it, right? So what is inside the program? 10 consultation call with the doctors, 12 consultation call with the expert nutritionist, which means follow-up calls. Every single week you will get a follow-up call where you will be asked about what has been happening with you. If you have any challenges, they are going to actually handhold you. And weekly live sessions, personalized healing diet plan, right? It's not a general plan, it is completely personalized and individualized for you, right? Based on your body parameters, based on your issues. And you'll have a healing home based therapies. If in case if you need any therapies, basic therapies, we are going to recommend it. And morning yoga and meditation session, very very important, 6:30 to 7, right? So if you see, we are going to give it for 1 year, right? The morning yoga session for free. Even if you disregard everything, just if you consider this one simple thing, right? Morning yoga session, right? It itself is costing around 30,000, right? So, and then mindset and emotional healing sessions from other coaches who are better in their craft. And you will have access to the application app, eDiet app, and you will have community access, right? And stress free breathing course, deep mastery course. And my dear friends, we are going to work on digestive health, metabolic health, and organ health. Okay, that is why you will be able to reverse any of these issues. And we are going to track all of your blood markers. And then the investment for this program is, the value of this program is minimum 1,50,000, right? If you see the conservative estimate, if you take all these things from outside individually, minimum it costs 1,50,000, but we have a very special price. So I really want to make it affordable to everyone, right? For this hand holding program. So it would come around 7,000 per month, but you need to pay the full amount, right? I'm just saying the approximately per month. So the entire investment for this program is 29,990 for everything you are getting, right? And two mistakes most people make is they think that they have a insurance, have medical insurance, right? My dear friends, having a medical insurance is good, but it can only cover your expenses, medical expenses. It cannot share your pain, the suffering, the kind of productivity you are losing, right? The kind of happiness and things you are sacrificing, right? That is why it is very very important to work on it. So if you would like to apply, just pay 1,999 from the link which my team has shared here, and you can apply. Only 2 people have the opportunity. Okay.
My name is Kumar Pushpam.
Yeah.
I live in Mumbai, and I'm a physics faculty. I'm a physics teacher for IIT JEE and NEET preparation students. And regarding me, like I had this issue of acidity and acid reflux basically since almost 1.5 years. I did have like random checkups. I went to a couple of doctors. Like I had English medicines, I had Ayurvedic medicines. Things did help a bit for a fraction of time, for some time, but eventually things would come back and trigger me through different ways, which I did not know back then, right? And with this, as it became a bit chronic, like for 1.5 years, I think 4 months ago during August, I was just scrolling through Instagram and I got to see the ad you were there from Heal Easy, and it was saying that to heal your gut like in a completely natural way. So I thought, if I can try like 100 things out there, why not to try this thing? So then I had a session with you, and from there, then we had a 10 days detox session. So I do remember it was around the day of Raksha Bandhan, I guess. We had that detox. We had this journey started of detoxification. I had a couple of issues around acid reflux. It was acidity as well. It was a bit of, I think, bloating issue as well. So there were a number of issues associated. There was side effects of those medicines and acids as well, which I did not know. Then I, through classes, through scientific, explanation that you gave in different lectures, that if you do this, then what could be the side effect? If you do that, then what could be the side effect? Within like 10 days of detox sessions, and I applied all those things. And I'll tell you, from that day to this day, those habits are still there. Within 10 days, I could feel like the stomach-wise constipation was better, right? Acidity was better. And most importantly, like I could feel more fresh. So when you feel more fresh, more energetic, whole body language and frequency gets better.
With respect to your acidity, what is your improvement?
Acidity wise, I think more than 90% recovery is.
With respect to bloating,
Bloating, I think it's almost gone. Almost gone.
and how about your energy levels throughout the day?
It's much better. It's much better now. Earlier, it was dullness was there. So at least I can feel that kind of dullness. Right now, I kind of feel mostly I feel refreshed. For someone who is going through this phase, my advice would be to bring changes in life, like basic changes in life, and to have good habits, to get rid of bad habits. Bad habits, as in we consume maida thing. We have a habit of that. We have a habit of sugar and other things, right? So what are the habits that we have in general life, and which one to be continued with, and which one to be given up? So those things are needed not just for someone who's suffering through acidity. I think I think for everyone. Do's and don'ts should be clear to us. So for that, this platform, this is the right platform for knowing, yeah, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing, and we explained the science behind that as well in a very very basic language, not in a language that only doctors will get it. So it was explained in a very very basic scientific manner that any kid from 8th or 9th or 10th standard can understand, who knows the basic biology. People like who are having chronic issues, like myself as well, I was having for almost 1.5 years. So we end up like spending a lot of money with medicines, doctors, since we are already spending money here and there. So better invest it in at a place where we are given a solution based on which connects you to the nature and gives you basic principles to work on, and not work on the symptoms, rather to work on the basic root cause. I kind of feel very thankful and grateful that I could come across, connect to you guys. So it's worth giving a try. It's worth it. This journey, as I told this, I use this word spiritual. Yes, this journey has been spiritual for me, because I do remember a moment like 6 to 7 months ago when I was like, "Hey, what is happening with me? Like I'm struggling so much. I'm going to this doctor, that doctor. Like I have gone to good doctors in Mumbai, literally very good doctors. Okay, so the solution was there, but it did not get eradicated because my issue must have been very complex, right? Right. So I remember a moment 6 months ago when I was like there has to be, there has to be someone, there has to be a doctor or someone who gives me the right direction, because I was getting desperate, right? And I wanted that, and it kind of manifestation. When we go for manifestation, people say that when you send a signal to the universe, you get the answer back. So for me, it's of that level, sir. Meeting you guys and talking to you and getting through this whole part now. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Okay, so for me, it's of different level. I wanted someone like you to guide me through this. And again, I'm again thankful and grateful. I could meet you and I could get your guidance.
So, my dear friends, I want each and every one of you to be the success story, right? So, every batch out of 20 people, 18 people will be the success stories. 18 to 90 people, I would say. There are one or two people who will actually quit the journey, right? I can't do anything about that. But most of the people, I would say, they become the success stories, right? I record every success story, but I only play the success stories of the people where they give the permission, right? I ask the permission to share. So there are some generous people, there are some wonderful human beings who will always say that, yes, you can play my success story so that it can inspire other people as well, right? I know how I struggled. I know how much suffering I have undergone. If this story can inspire others, please play my story, right? So that is why I'm playing very few stories. So maybe you may be the next person who is going to be the success story for us. And it's not about just recording the success story, it's about your life story, right? If I can help you to reverse any of your health issues, if I can help you to make your health in a much better way, if I can help, if I can contribute a bit in your life to improve your overall health, then that is what we are actually looking for. So people who already got the messages, all you need to do is completing the assessment form and booking the consultation call and attending the orientation session. Number 4, you will get the access to the app, eDiet app, where you can see all of your diet plans, okay, and all of the resources with you, and you can book the consultation call with your nutritionist or doctor from there only, okay. You will get the access for it once you are done with the full payment. That is why I want you to complete the full payment by tomorrow morning, okay, without miss, so that you can use this opportunity of taking the blood reports as well, because if it goes beyond that, we don't give the blood reports that you will have to take for yourself. That is why I want you to avail this opportunity. So complete the remaining payment. And yeah, that's it for today. So the parameters, we are going to consider all these parameters, and 3-pillar support system, and the mistakes we are making generally: wrong diet, sedentary lifestyle, improper sleep, stress levels, certain medications, right? We are going to address all these things. We are going to make sure that you can actually improve on all these things during this journey, right? And one more important bonus which I would like to give it to the people who completed, right? People who are still there till the 10th day. So we have a very special bonus. You can refer 4 people, okay, in a year. In the next 1 year, you can refer 4 people for the detox program, and maybe from your family or people around you, and we will give it for them for free, okay. So this is the only very limited time opportunity which we are giving, because we want to reach out to more people, because more people need help when it comes to detox and healing, because more and more people are end up paying unnecessary lot of amounts to the hospitals, medications and tests, and suffering. More than that, it's not just about the money, it is about the suffering. Once they know that there is a path, right, there is a clear way to be able to come out of any of these health issues with a simple diet and lifestyle changes, I think you can be a great guide for them, right? So you can refer any 4 people. So if you want to refer anybody, just reach out to my team, share their names and phone numbers with us, so that my team can register, okay, for the upcoming detox batch. And you'll have a consultation calls, everything. And yes, so yeah, special bonus blood report you can take. And with respect to EMI, some of you are asking, when you have a credit card, you can convert the payment into EMI option. My team is going to help you with that, okay. Yeah, so all we need is 15 minutes a day commitment, that's it, okay. So during the once in a week, you will have a consultation call with your nutritionist. In a day, just we want you to spend 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that you follow the diet plan, okay. About what after the detox program. right? So after the detox, there are two kinds of people. Number one, people who joined in the healing program, right? They have a 4-month hand holding, as I told. So again, you will be undergone some little bit of detox, and then you will start with the healing, and you will be taken care by your nutritionist, your doctor, and you have a health coach, dedicated health coach. So I'm not going to mention about the journey about the people who joined in the healing program, because anyway they are going to get it. And I would like to talk about the people who did not join for the healing program and what to do, right? So understand, people who did not continue their journey in the healing. So first of all, you will have a Heal Easy lifetime silver membership, which means every year once you can do this detox program. Okay, you can just follow this 10 days process, you can attend the sessions, you can practice these things. So your Heal Easy lifetime silver membership will automatically continue. And if any one of you did not book the consultation call with our team, just book the consultation call and just understand the root cause of your problem. Based on that, you can decide your journey. And how about the maintenance diet plan? So people who are done with the detox, and if you want the maintenance diet plan, I'm going to give you clarity about that. So here is the maintenance diet plan. So from now onwards, after the detox, you may need to go for a little bit of different kind of dietary protocol, because detox protocol is not for forever. Because if you continue only the detox protocol, whatever I shared, you may lose weight over a period of time, right? So that is what I don't want you to happen. So post detox, so these are the things which you may be continuing, and these are some of the things you may not be continuing. I'll give you clarity about it in the next couple of minutes. Number one, so post detox, okay, the first thing is water. You will have to continue drinking water, whatever we have discussed during the sessions. You will have to continue it throughout your life. Drinking 2 glasses of water on an empty stomach and drinking 1 glass of water every 1 hour. That has to be continued throughout the life. Doesn't matter whether you are in detox or healing or you are not in any other program, right? So this has to be continued. Number two, detox juice, right? Detox juice also you can continue forever, right? If in case 1 or 2 days, if it is not possible for you to take the detox juice, it's okay, but try to have detox juice either in the form of ashwagandha juice or green juice, or if you have any vegetables, vegetable juice, carrot juice, or carrot beetroot, or any kind of juice, vegetable juice you can take in the morning. That will help you to clean your entire digestive system every single day, right? So you can continue the detox juice. Number three, detox tea. So detox tea is an optional tea, right? So that you may not have, like if you don't like it or if you don't have any health problem, you can discontinue the detox tea, right? It's up to you. And if you want to continue, you can continue it. There is no issue with continuing the detox tea, right? You can either you can continue or you discontinue, doesn't matter. Based on your situation, you can just do that. And then breakfast, what you need to take in the breakfast. So when it comes to breakfast, try to maintain the low grain breakfast for certain period of time, maybe in the next 6 months to 1 year. That is very important, right? So try to include more fats and protein early in the morning. That will help you to feel satiated throughout the day, and also that will reduce the insulin resistance in your body. That will improve your energy levels, and ultimately your body needs all the nutrition, right? So try to make your breakfast as the most nutritious meal in the entire day, right? So you can eat anything. I'm not saying that you have to discontinue everything, right? But be aware that if you are eating anything, for an example, you are eating poha, puri, idli, dosa, vada, whatever you are eating, try to make it only 50%, and other 50% try to include nuts, seeds, or bit of fruits, seasonal fruits, whatever. Replace 50% with other things, right? So that you can maintain this plan. And when it comes to lunch, right, always try to have a balanced lunch plate, which I already shared in the session. So try to have little bit of salad. Start any kind of lunch with the salad. Try to take one tomato or half kira, cucumber, or you can have little bit of lettuce, or any kind of raw food that contains little bit of nutrition. So you can start with that, and then you can have whole grains, right? Try to switch to whole grains. But if you are someone who is suffering from acidity or digestive problems, it may be little difficult for you to start the whole grains or millets because it may feel bloated. So what I want you to do is slowly switch to whole grains over a period of next 1 to 3 months, right? So till then you can take white rice or wheat chapati, right? Whole wheat chapati or whole wheat roti, but try to reduce the quantity and try to slowly replace it with the whole grains. Try to increase the whole grains and reduce the dependency on this. And then include more sabzi, more vegetables, right? Green leafy vegetables, more vegetables. Try to add either in the form of sabji, or you can add green leafy vegetables with your roti which you make in the home, or you can add more vegetables in your rice lunch plate, whatever, right? So try to include more of these things and try to include protein as well. If you are someone who is vegetarian, which means you can eat egg, you can add 1 or 2 eggs in every single meal to make sure that you get the enough amount of protein and fats, right? If you are someone who cannot take the eggs, right? Who is a vegetarian, you can add little bit of seeds or 1 or 2 nuts along with that, okay? And you can maintain the protein intake. And then when it comes to dinner, try to maintain the early dinner, right? So this is a wonderful habit which you can follow throughout the life, right? Maybe 1 or 2 days if you are outside, if you are on travel, it may not be possible. It's okay. Okay, don't overdo it. It's okay, but immediately get back to the early dinner. Whatever you eat, try to eat early. That is the most important thing. And then during the dinner, avoid highly processed foods, heavy processed foods, highly processed foods, junk foods, foods which are very deep fried, oily foods. Okay, try to reduce the quantity, try to increase the healthy option when it comes to dinner. And sometimes if you feel like your lunch is heavy, right, at that time you can take only fruits as a dinner, right? That is good when it comes to reversing any of the health issues, feel good, losing weight, detoxing the body, for all these things. And most important thing is try to sleep early. That is the most important thing, right? Have a fixed sleep schedule. For example, if you want to go to bed at 10:30 p.m. every single day, try to maintain that, or 11 p.m. every single day. Decide that time and decide morning when you want to wake up, right? If you maintain the gap of 3 hours between your dinner time and your sleep time when you are going to bed, then you will be having most of this healing done. And these are some of the guidelines, general guidelines which you may be following. Try to avoid or reduce these things. Number one, deep fried foods, right? Always try to minimize the intake of deep fried foods. Anything which is deep fried in the oil, try to reduce the quantity, right? Or try to avoid it, because these are the things which will create a lot of toxins and it will feed the disease which is already there in the body. And second thing is foods that are heavily processed. Okay, anything which is heavily processed, try to reduce the quantity. And then reduce the amount of sugar. Okay, sweets, cakes, donuts, whatever you eat, right? Try to reduce the intake of sugar and try to replace it with the natural alternatives. If in case if you want to eat anything which is like sweets or any bakery items, try to have healthier sweet options, like including jaggery. Right, there are many other options which you can use. And the fourth one is don't take any fruit juices. Okay, eat only whole foods, whole fruits actually, right? Try to reduce the dependency on fruit juices, because fruit juices, what happens is when you juice any fruit, you are actually extracting the sugar part and you are removing the fiber part, right? So fruit juice, any fruit juice is nothing but sugar. It may be the natural sugar, but again it will go into your blood very fast and it will create insulin resistance. It leads to diabetes and all these things. But once in a while it's okay, right? Once in a while, maybe once in a week, twice in a week, or sometimes you go out. Okay, taking fruit juice is not bad, but on a daily basis don't take fruit juice, right? Try to eat at least one fruit every single day, whole fruit. Yeah, these are some of the guidelines which I would like to share it with you. Okay, if in case if you have any doubt, okay, regarding any of these things, please feel free to reach out to us. My team is going to help you at any point of time. Okay, great. Thank you for showing up for all the 10 days, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to help you, to serve you, right? To give all this wonderful health education to you. So this is God given opportunity for us to spend this much time with you and to share all of this wonderful information with you. So thank you so much. I'll see you the other day. And